The Associate Minister of Wellness.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I'm very pleased to rise today to speak about Bill 202, the Public Grasslands Amendment Act, brought forward by the Honourable Member for Calgary-McKay-Nose Hill. And before I begin, I would like to thank the Honourable Member for all of the time and work he has dedicated to this bill. It's very obvious he's very passionate about this. Madam Speaker, I believe that Bill 02 does address a very important topic, the conservation of Alberta's natural landscapes. And anyone who knows me knows that I care very much about this personally, professionally, and politically as well. And I trust that we can all agree that preserving Alberta's natural habitats is a huge priority for us all. With the population growth our province has seen over the past several decades, it's even more important now than ever to ensure that we have the correct measures in place to protect our natural landscapes. And that's why, in 2009, the Assembly passed the Alberta Land Stewardship Act, or the ALSA, which provides strong leadership on land use issues. And according to this Act, this piece of legislation has several important purposes, including to provide, first of all, a means by which the government can give direction and provide leadership in identifying the objectives of the province of Alberta, including economic, environmental, and social objectives. Number two, to provide a means to plan for the future, recognizing the need to manage activity to meet the reasonably foreseeable needs of the current and future generations of Albertans, including Aboriginal peoples. And number three, to provide for the coordination of decisions by decision makers concerning land, species, human settlement, natural resources, and the environment. And number four, to create legislation and policy that enables sustainable development by taking account of and responding to the cumulative effect of human endeavour and other events as well. Now, to achieve these objectives, the ALSA established 7 regions for which regional plans are currently being developed. Now, to date, as some members are well aware, the Lower Athabasca Regional Plan, or LARP, has been completed already, and Alberta Environment and Sustainable Resource Development is currently soliciting public input on the South Saskatchewan Regional Plan before its completion and its release. And I know some folks who are very active in this. They're very appreciative of this process. Madam Speaker, a great deal of work, experience, and public input has gone into developing these regional plans. And they're going to help to ensure the protection and sustainability of our natural spaces. I look forward to the completion of each of the regional plans, as I believe they will provide the framework our province needs to balance our current needs with the needs of our future generations. Madam Speaker, the objective of the ALSA was to establish a cross-cutting land use framework. And as I understand it, Bill 202 does not coincide with the ALSA and would instead put into place a new set of rules based on a different framework. To establish another set of laws that do not function within this plan seems counterintuitive. It may complicate provincial rules surrounding conservation instead of streamlining. In addition, Madam Speaker, the regional land use plans established under the ALSA contain a number of provisions protecting ecologically sensitive land. For example, the recently completed LARP has established regional environmental limits for air and surface water quality and a regional groundwater management framework. It's also established 6 new conservation areas, bringing the total conserved land in the region to 2 million, that's right, 2 million hectares. That's 22% of the region. And the plan will change the Dillon River Conservation Area from a public land use zone to a wildland provincial park, increasing the size by 27,245 hectares, thus securing a larger tract of important caribou habitat. As you can see, Madam Speaker, the plans established under the ALSA place a great deal of focus on ecological conservation. which makes one wonder whether an additional piece of legislation such as Bill 202 is necessary in the first place. Madam Speaker, Alberta's regional plans are not closed to public input, and in fact, public consultations are a very important part of the development of these plans. As I said earlier, Alberta Environment is currently accepting input into the South Saskatchewan Regional Plan, and before that, they accepted public input on the Lower Athabasca Regional Plan, or LARP. Section 5 of the ALSA states that appropriate public consultation is required before a regional plan is completed, and that a report on Albertans' feedback must then be presented to Executive Council before the completion of a regional plan. What this says to me, Madam Speaker, is that the existing framework makes room for suggestions and improvement on our current regional measures. I do believe that if it is in the best interests of the public, that the Assembly may choose to incorporate elements of Bill 202 into our existing land use framework, instead of establishing an entirely new piece of legislation that is unrelated to the plans. So, Madam Speaker, in summary, while I truly and greatly appreciate all of the incredible work that the honourable member for Calgary McKay-Nose Hill has done, that cannot be doubted, in the name of preserving Alberta's natural heritage, I do stand behind the ALSA, the Alberta Lands Stewardship Act, and its regional plans, as I stated. And I believe that these initiatives are the best mechanism through which we can effectively manage land use in our province. As a result, I will not be supporting this bill today. Thank you, Madam Speaker.